And welcome back, guys, gals, non-binary pals, to Power Up with Pride 24, benefiting True Colors United. Once again, my name is Joker, and we are here and ready to dive into the depths of Subnautica with Ruby. Ruby, the floor is yours. I'm very excited to see this. Let's take a look at Subnautica. All achievements.
All right, so actually not all achievements. We are actually going to be doing Subnautica 100%. So, in case you're unaware of what Subnautica actually is, we are doing with an open world underwater exploration game. So, if you have things like, thalassophobia or what is it? It's thalassophobia, fear of deep seas, maybe this isn't the run for you. I'd advise, doing a bit more caution with this run. But 100% in this game is a very interesting category. We're going to go ahead and start a new game. I will give you the timer start whenever we are all set up and ready. But 100% in this game, you might be thinking it's an open world underwater exploration game. How are you defining 100% in this game? Well, it turns out it's actually quite easy if you just establish a few different, criteria. So what we just said was it's going to be all achievements, all blueprints, and all databank entries. So we're getting 17 achievements, 157 blueprints, and 277 databank entries. And we're going to all be doing that, hopefully in around 2 hours. So get ready on the timer, and we are going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck,
and
Ruby.
We are off. So though this game has a lot of RNG. And the first bit of RNG is our spawn location, and we got kind of bad RNG here. This is a very southern spawn, so we're just going to have to deal with it, unfortunately. I actually haven't practiced many southern spawns. It's been a little bit, but I should still have a good idea of what I'm doing. So our first objective is to make the scanner, and we're going to be using the scanner a lot during this run. That's how we're going to get a lot of the databank entries. So we're going to make a battery, and then we're going to make the scanner. We're going to do a little glitch with the storage locker here called Go Storage. If you click on that locker and then leave immediately, the game wants to open your PDA here to get into your storage and, store things. But because you left, you actually interrupted that, so it can't open your PDA. So the next time you open your PDA, it's going to open up to that life pod locker, which is very, very useful in our circumstance here. We're going to go around the map. We're looking for a little wreck to get something called a sea glide. And Sea Glide's going to help us move faster. That's basically what the first couple minutes of this run is all about. We just need to get to the point where we can move at a pace that isn't a snail. You can kind of see we're moving quite slowly here. It is miserable. So it looks like we have... That's too big to be a Sea Glide, isn't it? Uh-oh, am I going to get... Oh, that's one. We do need 2 Sea Glide fragments from this wreck here. We do get another one here. There we go. And you do not drown at at 0 in this game. You actually drown at -8. So we can kind of abuse that a bit here. We're going to go through the scroll tube next. Now, the amount of resources that we can hold in our inventory is actually 24 in this point of the game. And you might be wondering why. Well, that's the amount that fits in the life pod storage with the other things that we've grabbed. And the reason that we have to fit things in the life pod storage is because at the end of this segment, we're actually going to drown. Drowning is very, very useful in this game, and we're going to take advantage of it a lot. What drowning does is it will take you back to the last base you were in with all of the items that you had when you were last in a base, plus one additional random item that you gathered when you were last outside of the base. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab all of these items that we see here, and now we're going to put all of those things back into the life pod locker. So all of those are in the life pod locker, and now we can die. That's going to death warp us, and we're going to go all the way back to the life pod. Now we should have the blueprint to make the Sea Glide, so we're going to go ahead and make all of the things that we need for that. Now, so far, this run isn't too different from an 80% run. However, where things start diverging is about right now. We're going to start scanning pretty much everything. In case you're unaware of what Subnautica is like, in Subnautica there's a bunch of different biomes. We're going to be visiting every single biome in the game. It's going to be a very good adventure. But first, we gotta, scan everything in the current biome that we're in, obviously. So we are going to start with that. Scanning all of these plants around here. And we're going to scan this table core over here, and then we're going to slice 3 of these because we need these. 1, 2, 3. And we also need some edible fish. There's 4 different edible fish right now in the shallows that we need to scan and then pick up. Scanning in the... Where was that fish? There it is. Scanning the fish gives you the blueprint. Or scanning the fish gives you the databank entry, and then picking it up gives you the blueprint on how to cook it. And obviously, we need all the databank entries and blueprints. So those are both things that we need to do. I'm going to go into this cave. You might notice that little creature right there. They pop out of these little huts. Those are called crash fish. They're little annoying things, and they really make the early game player's journey quite hard. But because we already have a sea glide, we can usually get away from them quite easily. I do need to scan one of your sulfur plants, though. All right, and we are looking for the boomerang. There's also a bladderfish over there, and we need a garryfish. A lot of this run isn't actually technically difficult. It's just a lot on the brain. There is so much going on throughout the entire run that you have to keep track of. And that is what's so difficult about this run. That's why there's so few runs of it in this category. If we go over the history of this category, it all started off when one of our most popular speedrunners in the Subnautica community, you may have never heard of him, his name is Salvner. He jokingly did a 100% run. I think he was at it for 16 hours. And I don't think he finished. I think he almost finished, but didn't quite get there. I'm still missing 1 fish, by the way. I also think I need more sandstone. I do need more sandstone, so we're going to go over here. And drop into this cave real quick. So, Salvner jokingly did a 16-hour-long 100% run and didn't finish it. I think that was what happened. It might have been 8. I'm not entirely sure on the details. But I know it was long, and I know he technically didn't finish it. That's when someone else in the community named AJ Chimera, also shortened to AJ, he did a 100% run, and he routed pretty much the entire category from scratch and got a time of around 5 hours. It's a bit over 5 hours, pretty sure. He kind of took the category from there and made it a bit more efficient. We actually denoted what exactly was 100% in this game. Let's not die from that. And it got the time down to about 3 hours. And that's when I came in around mid-2020, and I got the time all the way down from there to just under 2 hours, and kept bringing it down, and now, just this October, I got my first time under 1 hour and 30 minutes. So this category has come a very long way since it first was conceptualized. I'm not going to lie to you, our resource situation is desperate right now. It is really bad. We're going to just try to make the most of it, though. We need to make the repair tool here. Can I make the habitat builder? No, I need to make electronics. I have no copper. That's fair, I guess. I guess I have no copper. A lot of the initial sections of this game is just resource gathering and keeping track of the resources that you have and what you don't have. Usually, copper is not an issue, but because we spawned in the southern section of the shallows, our resources are definitely not as abundant as they would normally be if we had, for example, a northern section spawn. But that's okay. We're going to make do with what we have. Now, what we are going to do as well... That's some terrain loading right there. That was crazy. What we are going to do is we are going to try to make our base in the northern section of the shallows. There's some cool tech that I want to show off that's in the northern section of the shallows that I don't think has been on a speedrunning marathon ever. And it's been a lot of like recent developments. And when I say recent, I mean like in the past couple years. It has been a little bit since Subnautica has been on a speedrunning marathon. So there's some cool tech up there. So we are going to make our base all the way in the northern section. So we're just going to have the sea glide there every single time we have to go from the life pod here. Thankfully, that's not too many times during the run. Have I already made those? Where are all my electronics? I don't have enough silver? Goodness. This southern spawn is really throwing me off. That's okay. I would appreciate if my terrain loaded more. I hope that's not going to cause a problem. There's another cave over here that we can go to. Thankfully, once we get out of the resource section of this run, the run gets a lot more interesting. Let's see. Let's get a silver now. This cave is also empty. I'm just like getting screwed. What is going on? This is not very fair of the game to be doing to me right now.
If RNG is to be had in a game, RNG will definitely make a speed run 100 times worse.
Always. Actually, if you don't mind taking over for a bit, Joker, I'm gonna get some water.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I do want to remind everybody that you are watching Power Up with Pride 2024. This is a speedrunning marathon benefiting our friends at True Colors United. True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ plus young people. Our team works at the federal, state, and local levels to ensure vital funding, policies, systems, and protections are in place that meet the needs of LGBTQ and Black, Indigenous, and people of color youth experiencing or at risk of homelessness. We partner with young people and with national, state level, and local advocates in advancing policies that bring us closer to a future where housing justice is a reality for all. And if you wish to donate, please use !donate in the chat. And you can even put your donation towards our final bid war of the event for our final run of Hollow Knight. It is the Save or Leave the Grub bid war. Right now, Save is ahead at $973.73. Leave is behind at $191.75. But you still do have plenty of time to change that option or help continue to secure Save's lead. Please use !donate and select that poll when you do donate. Otherwise, your donations will not go towards that poll, will not count. So please make sure you do select that when you do donate.
Awesome. Obviously, it's a great cause, so absolutely get your donations in. What we've done here is we're going to make our nice little base. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this base and we're going to destroy our nice little base. And you might be wondering, why are we doing that? That seems very counterproductive. Well, it actually is the most productive thing in the speedrun. Because what this is going to do is it's going to activate a glitch that's going to unlock the full potential of the Sea Glide. Now, the Sea Glide has a hard movement cap at 25 meters per second. We think it's because the devs accidentally left some shenanigans in when it came to one of the old upgrades to the Sea Glide, the Power Glide. And this glitch, which is called Super Sea Glide, it unlocks that full potential of the Sea Glide. And it allows it to move at its maximum speed of 25 meters per second. This speed is going to carry us safely around the map. And it's fast enough to pretty much escape any Leviathan and any creature that would potentially be trying to endanger us in the run. And that's very, very nice. Makes it a lot less of a worry, this speedrun. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go on into the kelp forest section of this run. Right now, we're looking for metal that is not that exact shape that I keep finding on the ground. That shape right there. And that shape. Why are they all... I'm looking for... there's 4 different types of metal, and that is one of the shapes that it could be. We need metal that isn't that shape. What we're looking to do is we're looking to drop that metal near some of these stalkers. These stalkers act like dogs, so we call them dogs. And what they like to do is they like to gather and collect this metal salvage. And every single time they pick up a metal salvage, they actually have a 25% chance of dropping a stalker tooth. And we actually need 2 of those to continue the run. So we're going to try to get 2 of those while we're scanning everything else and picking up some other things in the kelp forest here. We're going to get the 2 more edible fish here, maybe 3 if we're lucky. We're also going to grab this metal salvage because I missed this apparently. Drop it near that dog. Each of these dogs has a nest. So they like to take metal back to a very specific spot. This guy has a very good nest. It looks like it's in the air, so every single time he drops the salvage, it's going to float down to the ground, and he's just going to pick it up in an infinite cycle. It's very nice. Hopefully we'll get us the teeth that we need. We're also going to come down into this cave here, and we're going to break some resources. We're looking for stuff like sandstone on the wall here. I have no idea how many sandstone we've broken. Goodness, the mesmers really have it out for me. Those white creatures that were hypnotizing us for just a second there are called mesmers. They're very scary creatures. And they're also very annoying creatures. We will have to scan one a bit later. Speaking of very scary creatures, I will say that we are going to have to scan quite literally everything in the game. And if you're wondering, yes, that includes every Leviathan class organism in the game. There are 7 of them, and 4 of them are aggressive. So, we're going to have to do all of those scans, yes. It's going to be a great time. I will warn you when those are coming up, because those scans are particularly horrifying. And have the very real possibility of me getting eaten alive. So, we've gotten our 2 teeth, and we've gotten a lot of the things that we need from the kelp forest. Unfortunately, because we made our base so late, we actually do not have enough power in our base to make anything right now. So I need to figure out something else to do. And I think I have a good solution right now. You know what I just realized? Did I make 2 habitat builders? Oh my gosh, I made 2 habitat builders. That's why I had no silver. Huh.
Oops.
That's pretty good. Well, that makes a lot of sense now. Well then. I didn't check how many resources I had. That's okay. We're gonna do these top couple resources, and then we're gonna go check what we have. Oh, we'll just go back over here. I was wondering, I was like, I feel like I grabbed so much sandstone in that first section. I feel like I still didn't have anything. I still didn't have the things I needed. So, you know, I guess we have 2 of those now. Hopefully we have enough power that we can start crafting some things. There we go. Yeah, we should have enough now. We're going to start doing some of the crafting. You might notice that I put 2 fabricators down here. That allows us to make one thing, and then make another thing, and then make another thing, and just kind of continue that cycle. If you're good enough, you can actually do 3 fabricators at once, but that's really hard. Stuff that like only tool-assisted speedruns can do. Looking for 1 more copper. I should be able to make an ingot, and then I can make these quartz into glass. We also need to be careful about air whenever we're in a base like this.
So that was actually going to be my next question then, because it looks like that base has the hole in the wall that is allowing the water in.
Yes.
So is that not going to be repaired, and you're just going to stay, you know, holding your breath the entire time?
Exactly. I know it seems counterintuitive, but that's what actually does the super sea glide glitch, having a flooded base like this. So there's actually going to be many times throughout this run where I'm just going to be purposely flooding bases to get the the super sea glide glitch back up. It seems very counterintuitive, but trust me, it's actually very, very useful. So we have 4 silver, so I need how many more? 8 more silver, and then I need 3 and 4, which is 6 and 4, which is 10, so 10 quartz, and I need 11 copper. So I need 11 copper, 10 quartz, and 8 silver. So we're going to start counting all of those resources. This is a section where I'm going to have to really focus up. We are at 0, 0, 0. 1, 1, 0. 2, 1, 0. 2, 2, 0. 3, 2, 0. 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 0, 3, 6, 0, 3, 7, 0, 3, 8, 0. 3, 8, 0. 4, 8, 0. 4, 8, 1. 4, 8, 1. Okay. I don't want to go in that geyser blast. That will kill me very quickly. 4, 8, 1. 4, 9, 1. 4, 9, 1. 4, 9, 2. 4, 9, 3. 5, 9, 3. 693. 694. 695, 696, 69. No. Now we're at 697, I think. It's hard to keep track of all of this stuff. I think we're actually at 696. We're gonna get some air from this brain coral. We're at 696. That's what I'm going with. 610.6, so we can stop grabbing quartz now. Now we can go into our basically ghost storage here and do that. We're at 7.6. And that's going to be the count we're going to leave that cave with. Now we're going to go over to this wreck and look for some scans here. Usually this is the wreck that we come to for Sea Glide, but because, you know, we spawned in the other side of the map, this is not the wreck we were at for Sea Glide. We're looking for things like beacons and grav traps here. We're actually going to get beacon here, which is a miracle. Honestly, that never happens. I did a run earlier today, and that was the only blueprint I forgot. Beacon.
Oops.
Forgetting blueprints happens quite often, and if it's beacon, it's like the least painful blueprint to miss in the game, because it's right there, it's right next to spawn. There are much more painful blueprints to forget. Wow, that's also a miracle. Alright, I'm just having really good luck right now. We have 2 boxes of these small boxes in this wreck, and both of them have stasis rifle in them. So we're going to get our stasis rifle early. This is what we're going to use to do the hostile Leviathan scans. Stasis rifle makes it a lot easier. We're going to come out and go towards a life pod over here. In case you're unfamiliar with the story of this game, the story of this game basically goes like this. You're kind of in an interstellar travel mission on a ship called the Aurora. You might notice it's over there, and it's also crash landed. Now, the reason it's crash landed was actually because it was shot down while it was doing some sort of maneuver around this planet, which is known as 4546b. I have to count now, so I can't explain the story anymore. We're at 9.6, I'm pretty sure now. Just keep that in the back of your mind while I do the rest of this counting real quick. We are full. All right. Here we go. I think that's it for counting, though. We'll see if we need anything else. If we need anything else, we will just go grab it real quick. Let's use a med kit so I have 2 inventory spaces. I'm going to dip my head into the 3rd biome in the game, the grassy plateau. This is a fish I forgot to do in the shallow, so we'll just go and do it now. And get the Reginald, and we're going to try to find a spadefish. There we are. Perfect. And with all of that, we're going to go back to our base. So, story of this game. So it got shot down for some reason. Basically, our objective is to try to find other people and leave the planet. Spoiler alert, we're not finding anyone else. Everyone else is dead. It's just us. We're the only ones left on this planet. So now we're going to go into the most hectic crafting section of the run. We're going to do all of our electronics here. Need some more copper. We're looking for 5 copper wire. You can probably do some, if you want to read anything out, Joker. Now's a good time.
Well, absolutely. Again, I want to remind everybody that you are watching Power Up with Pride 2024, benefiting our friends at True Colors United. True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ+ young people. In America, up to 4.2 million youth and young adults experience homelessness each year, with Black, Latine, and LGBTQ+ youth disproportionately experiencing harm. True Colors United is ending youth homelessness by transforming systems, building the power of youth with lived experience of homelessness, and advocating for change from the grassroots to the global stage. If you wish to donate towards our friends at True Colors United, please use !donate in the chat. And if you do, we can read out your donations on air like we are right now with a donation from Corundum Core, who donated $50, and they say, "Hey friends watching the marathon, did you know we're currently in a Ruby block? Ruby on comms for Shadow of the Colossus, Ruby running Subnautica, and behind the scenes Ruby on Restream." And that did go to Save the Grub, which is our final bid war that is open right now. And right now, Save is ahead at $1,023.73, ahead of the $191.75 for Leave the Grub. So you only have a little bit of time. If you wish to affect that bid war in any way, shape, or form, please do so. Use that exclamation mark donate in the chat and put your donation towards that poll. If you donate without putting it towards the poll, we can't put it in, unfortunately, because of how Tiltify works. So please make sure you do select your option, either save or leave the grub.
All right. So while that all that stuff was being read, we had just finished the resources section, and now we're gonna go on our first big trip of the run. You might notice that I'm grabbing some bladderfish, and that's with a very, very good reason in mind. There is a section at the end of just this little route that we're doing, this little run around the map that we're doing. That's very, very tight. That's the Jelly Shroom Cave. The Jelly Shroom Cave is actually right down there. We're not going to go in there quite yet, but we do need to go in there. And if we do it correctly, hopefully we can actually get it all done in one breath. A lot of what 100% and what running this game is in general is managing your air. You know, you have to go quite deep for this run. We're going to end up around 1,700 meters deep by the end of this run. So we need to make sure that we are managing our air properly. There are a few very tight sections with air throughout this run, and yeah, it's a really big problem, and you have to be very, very cautious about it. It's something that, you know, you don't really think about all that much. And if you're watching a run, you don't really think about it either, because the runners seem to just have it under control. But it is definitely something you have to keep in mind when you're doing when you're playing the game, actually. So we are at this wreck. This wreck is known, it's infamous for being absolutely confusing. No one can navigate this wreck. When my partner was playing this game, they actually drowned in this wreck all those years ago. And I guarantee a lot of people who have played this game casually have died in this wreck. It's a very confusing wreck, but I'm gonna break it down, I guess. I don't know if breaking it down is I'm gonna speed through it. You're not gonna understand a thing, but you know, that's okay. That's kind of how these wrecks go. It's also a very just hilarious segment that we're about to do. So we have the Seamoth in the scanner room. We're also looking for the bioreactor, but we're not gonna get that here, but that's okay. We can get it later. And now we're gonna go through this not at all confusing wreck. First thing we do, we come in here, we scan at command chair. We go off to our left. There's a little glowing thing over there. That's a data bank entry. We need to pick that up. We need to go up here. We need to come down the stairs right here. That entire wreck's on its side, so don't mind that. We're going to go through this vent shaft. Please let me go through the vent shaft. We're going to go up. We're going to go down, and we're going to go down again, and we're going to go across, and we're going to go into this other vent shaft that's on the other side of the wreck. Do a U-turn, and then come around, come down, come across, come to the right, come over, and then grab this BA right here, and then we're going to make a eye compartment right here, and goodbye.
All right, everyone got that, chat?
Simple enough, right? Yeah, you guys could do that. So you might be wondering, what just happened? What is going on right now? So there's a lot of things to explain right there. Basically, whenever you go through wrecks like that, you're looking to just get the bare minimum that you need from this wreck. That's what we're gonna do with most of these wrecks in this run. However, you might notice that the entire wreck is actually gone right now. And if I were to despawn the wreck at the wrong time, I would actually soft lock. I wouldn't be able to complete 100%. And that's very bad, if that were to happen. So I need to make sure that doesn't happen. So for most of these wrecks, I will have to go through them first and grab the databank entries inside of them. And then I can get rid of the wreck and scan all of the fragments. There are a few exceptions, and you're going to see those in the run. Now that we're done with that section, we're gonna go into the Jelly Shroom Cave. This is where I gotta focus up a bit. So there's a very very coordinated path through this section. We need to end this section with a bunch of resources, and we need to die at the end of the section to warp back to our base. So, we are looking for 4 diamonds. We're looking for 4 lithium, and we're looking for 2 magnetite. The diamonds and the lithium are going to come out of these shale outcrops that I'm breaking, and the magnetite just comes off the floor. We're also going to grab this databank, and we're going to go start a storyline known as the Degassi storyline. So the Degassi storyline is actually very interesting. The Degassi crew is the first crew that actually showed up at 4546B. I believe they crash landed, though I'm not entirely sure on that. They might have just been on an expedition. I think that's what it was, actually. But they've set up a bunch of bases here that we can kind of go through and take some base pieces from. There's also snakes in this section, and they are big. I hate snakes, and these snakes like to grab onto you and jump scare you. So, yeah, time to not die by that. They only do 35 damage, so thankfully it's not that much. We have the 4 diamonds and 4 lithium. Now what we're going to do is we're going to eat all of those bladderfish we got. Each bladderfish we eat... No, why would you go back in there? Each bladderfish we eat gives us around 15 oxygen. And that allows us to do a little bit more in this section than we normally would be able to. This is where the flash warning comes in, by the way. A lot of these big scans are they just flash so brightly for no good reason. I'm gonna come in here, scan the basic double bed, and then we're gonna get these 2 things to my left. This and this. And we're gonna come over here, grab that, and we are done with this wreck. Now what we're looking for is a crab. We need to get one of these scans before we leave this section, and this guy just seems to really want to bite me, so that's okay. We're just gonna deal with that. And now we are good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the rebreather off. The rebreather allows us to go deeper without actually dying as fast. You might notice that our oxygen is actually draining much faster now. Once we stop, exiting and leaving bases. Normally it drains at 1 per second, but now it's going to start draining at 2 per second. So that's good for us in this instance, though, because we want to kind of die quickly here. We are done with everything we need to here. So yeah, what's up?
I do have a question. So, we found it, submerged in a wreck. So would that technically be considered a waterbed?
Not exactly. So these wrecks are actually, they're not actually wrecks. They used to be bases, but they are no longer bases. It's assumed that something in the game infiltrated it and actually flooded the entire base. Normally, our bases are like that too, but, in this instance, we've flooded ours purposefully. So, I'm not setting a good example, but that's okay. Now, because our life pod is so far away from our base, we're going to have to do this swim every single time we do one of those death warps. I should probably explain what's going on with those death warps. Whenever you want to die but keep your inventory, which is exactly what we wanted to do in that instance, what you have to do is you have to set up a base and then make the base invalid. So, how you can do that is if you make a base and then go inside the base, that saves your inventory. Sorry about that. And then when you leave that base, you're going to have that inventory saved, and then what you can do is you can just deconstruct the base. And now the base is no longer valid. Since the game can't find the last base you're in, it will actually warp you back to the life pod. So that effectively keeps your last inventory, which is super nice. We're gonna grab some batteries. And we're gonna do our last oxygen tank upgrade. This is the final oxygen tank, and that's all we're gonna get. You're telling me I don't have the propulsion cannon? I thought I scanned 2. Well, we'll just go scan one real quick. There's a wreck up here that we can just go to real quick and grab the last propulsion cannon blueprint, because I do kind of need that right now. It's for a bit of cool tech at the end of this next section of the run that you guys are going to find hilarious. There's a lot of weird glitches in this game that are just absolutely comedy gold. We've already seen one with that stupid wreck despawn. And there's so many others like that. Let me get some water. All right. And go back to our base and make the propulsion cannon now. And then base is actually here. It's not my life pod.
Ruby, speaking of hilarious, can I inform chat of something that has just been opened here?
Oh yeah.
So we want to talk funny. We want to say hilarious. We have opened a new surprise poll for chat to donate to. In honor of Subnautica in our earlier Sonic block, how is this word, this level pronounced? Is it Hydro City, Hydrocity, or Planet 4546B? You can donate using !donate in the chat and put your choice in the bid war there in the polls. Please make sure you mark your target, you mark your option there. The chat, there is one right answer here, and I trust that you know what the correct answer is to this question.
All right. We're going to go ahead and queue through some more radio messages, and we're going to get ready to go on our first real big trip. Now, you might notice that I just grabbed that waterproof locker. If you've ever played this game, you probably know that you can't pick up a waterproof locker while there's items in it. Well, you're actually wrong. Yes, you can. You just have to try hard enough. What you actually do is you can use a propulsion cannon, and if you use the propulsion cannon, it doesn't check if the waterproof locker is full at all whenever you pick it up with the propulsion cannon, for some reason. Very hilarious. So we're gonna grab that life pod, and now we're gonna scan the sand shark. You know, you might have noticed that we just scanned a plant, you know, that's shooting things at us. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. That's how this planet rolls. There's a lot of very strange things on this planet. And speaking of, we're probably going to have our first run-in with a Leviathan during this section. Now, we're not going to scan a Leviathan during this section. We're not quite ready for that. Though, honestly, we could, because normally during this section, it is very much nighttime. But because I'm going a little bit slower than my normal pace, it's actually daytime. So we actually could scan a Leviathan here. I do have a stasis rifle for it, so yeah, we might end up scanning a Leviathan during this section. I usually get it later, but you know, it's okay. So what we just did there was something called an enzyme peeper. Those enzyme peepers are very important for a specific databank entry later. They have these glowing tails. They're kind of hard to miss. It's just important that we get that scan and pick one up. We're also going to go through this not at all confusing cave, which again is not at all confusing, and grab a cuttlefish egg at the bottom. That cuttlefish egg is actually one of 5 that exist on the map. There's only 5 cuttlefish egg on the map, and the cuttlefish, if you're unfamiliar with this game, is actually a creature that isn't naturally occurring. It only is in the game if you make it appear in the game. You have to basically make one of its eggs hatch, and there are only 5 eggs on the map. And this map is a very, very large map. So finding one of those eggs can be quite hard. Now we're going to do a little silly glitch here with the laser cutter. Basically, by using the knife and then switching to the laser cutter while we're doing the animation, we can do the laser cutter animation at the speed of the knife, which is actually faster than just using the knife by itself. Or than using the laser cutter by itself. So it allows us to open the door to this wreck very, very much slightly faster. Now we're going to grab this data bank or this data box right here for the reinforced dive suit, and we're going to get rid of this wreck. We've gotten everything we need from here, so we can get rid of it. Goodbye. And now we're on a timer. The bulb zone, which is where we currently are right now. It's a very beautiful biome. It's also very, it's one of the more dangerous biomes that doesn't actually have any Leviathan class species in it. So there's just a lot of things that are predators around here that want to eat you, so it's very dangerous. Right now, we're kind of in a nice space of calm, though. So whenever we are in the bulb zone, there's a 2-minute timer that starts. We have to make sure we get that 2-minute timer all the way elapsed. That 2-minute timer triggers a radio message. That's very important because it's a databank entry, so we have to get it. We cannot go into any wrecks, and we cannot leave the bulb zone. If we do either of those things, we reset the timer. We're probably going to get the 1-minute notification for the invisible timer that we can't see about now. Maybe just a second. There it is. That's the 1 minute timer. So we can leave in 1 more minute. This is for the LifePod 4 radio message, by the way. We're going to go up for air, and now we're going to drive all the way back down. This is what I mean when I say, you know, sometimes we're going to have to dive straight into open water. Yeah, stuff like this could happen, where you just have to go straight down and, you know, hope you know what's beneath you. We're going to go in and get the bone shark scan. These guys are very aggressive little things. But right now, this one's actually mesmerized by a mesmer. That's kind of funny. We're also going to look for an ampule. Here's one of these guys right here. Very cool little guys here. They do a lot of damage, and they're also quite aggressive to vehicles. But to us, they mostly don't. They mostly don't target us. 2 minutes has now passed on my own personal timer, so now we can actually leave the bulb zone. So now we're gonna go over into the mountains, and grab this ghost weed right down here. You might have noticed that I'm grabbing a couple plants. That's actually to make something that's very much going to be later in the run. So you might have been wondering, if you haven't like played this game before and you heard my little recap of the story, you might be thinking, oh, the ship you're on was shot down. Well, what was it shot down by? Well, it was actually shot down by a alien race. They're known as the Architects. And it was shot down by the quarantine enforcement platform, which we're headed to right now. It's right over here. You know what else we're heading to? We're heading to scan a Reaper Leviathan. This is a Reaper Leviathan. This is Mabel. Everyone say hi to Mabel. Everyone say hi. This is Mabel. Good to see you, Mabel. Mabel is a sweet little thing, even if she, you know, seems a little scary. Just let her get it out. It's okay. It's you know, it's Mabel's way of expressing herself. It's okay.
She angry.
I know, she's quite angry. That's the Reaper Leviathan scan done. They are very plentiful throughout the map, and especially throughout the mountains. And now we are very much in the mountains. There's one over there, there's one over there, there's one back there. You know, they're just kind of in every direction. There's also a wreck right here. Don't believe me? Yes,
I don't believe you. There it is.
Wrecks have a hard time popping in this game sometimes. So, you know, sometimes you just have to give them a second. Now, the mountain section is also one of the tightest in terms of getting it in one breath. Usually it's possible, but it can be quite hard. But because it's daytime, we shouldn't have that much of a problem getting it. There's a lot of scans in this room. Looks can be deceiving. I know this room seems like a little empty. There's so much furniture in here that we have to scan for blueprints. And all of these what are these things called? Plant pots right here. Gotta scan all of these. Again, we need every single blueprint of the game, so that's all of the different types of plant pots. There we go. And now we're gonna go around the outside of this wreck. We're just looking for things like, you know, nuclear reactor fragments. We're looking for Cyclops engines. We're looking for moon pools. We're looking for prawn suit grappling arms. Stuff like that. You know, just hypothetically, of course. You know, I wouldn't possibly know what spawned around this wreck.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, of course. Oh wow, that's a prawn suit grappling arm. It's almost like I said that. Oh wow, it's a moon pool. It's not crazy. Anyway, I'm just messing around. The hardest part of this category, I said it earlier, but it is just knowing where everything is, and being prepared for when you have situations like the exact one that I'm in right now. We actually do not have enough Cyclops engines, so you have to know, if you miss a blueprint at a wreck, you have to know exactly where to find backups. Things like that is what makes this run just so daunting for a lot of players. That's why so few runs of it have ever been done. Now we're gonna go up to this little bit of alien right here. Where's Eileen? There's Eileen. Say hi to Eileen. That's Eileen over there.
Hi,
We're gonna
Eileen.
go shove our face into the ground and grab this purple tablet. So the devs like adjusted that terrain or something, and they forgot to move the tablet with it. So there's just a tablet under the ground there. And because with Super Sea Glide we can actually slightly clip through everything, we can use that to slightly clip through the ground and grab that tablet. Isn't that handy?
Neat.
We're gonna set up this base that's not at all going to come in handy later, not a talking about. And we're gonna flood that base. You're gonna notice a theme with a lot of these bases that I'm making. We're gonna be flooding most of them. And that's to keep the Super Sea Glide glitch up and running, to make sure that we don't lose it, of course. Now we're gonna dump all of this plants, and we're going to get the hatch on this base. I'm in the zone now, I feel it. We're gonna drop it, scan the laser cutter. For some reason, this gives you a blueprint databank entry. I don't get it, but you know. The devs made a bit of a, they've made a few mistakes with the game, but it's okay. We still love the game anyway. There's a purple tablet in this cave right here. We're gonna go and grab. And there's another purple tablet that's all the way up. Don't mind that lighting bug. That always happens. All the way up here. We're gonna fling ourselves out of the water and up onto the quarantine enforcement platform. So the quarantine enforcement platform has one purpose: to enforce a quarantine. Isn't that crazy? This entire planet has been infected by a bacterium known as Kara, and it's a very deadly bacterium. I believe one of the databank entries says in humans it kills in about 2 weeks. Skyray, are you gonna... Skyray. Thank you. Goodness. It kills you in about 2 weeks, so it's quite deadly. And at this point, we already have it. So we have to find a way to cure ourselves. All right, we're gonna start some shenanigans now. This was the shenanigans part I was talking about earlier. We're gonna drop this air bladder, we're gonna grab it with the propulsion cannon, and we're gonna do some flying. This is a glitch called propulsion item flying.
Whee!
It's a super useful glitch for navigating around on land. That's not what I wanted to do. It basically just makes it so that we can fly around on land. We're also gonna do this animation overlap. It looks very goofy. In these alien bases, it's very useful to do this type of item flying. It saves a lot of time over walking. And we're going to take this elevator down to the bottom section of the quarantine enforcement platform.
Your best probability of interfacing with this facility is achieved by accessing the control room in the lower section.
And now, I'm going to get into a little something called patch differences. So, in Subnautica, there's 3 main patches that players play on. One of them is the September 2018 patch, which is the one I'm playing on right now. It allows us to do glitches like that, where we just phase directly through that wall. The devs had a really hard time doing water-to-air transitions, so, you know, the terrain around those water-to-air transitions always seems to be a little bit lacking in its collision. At least in this patch. There's a slightly newer patch that we call the Legacy patch. The Legacy patch basically has a lot of the same glitches that we use here, but it also runs smoother. It doesn't have that clip that we just did. And there's a few other minor changes. And then there's also the newest version of the game, which basically has no glitches. It's used for glitchless runs, though, because it has a premium feature known as Unstuck. Very funny glitch if you ever want to take a look at it. You can take a look on the Subnautica leaderboards at a survival glitchless or hardcore glitchless run. Now we're going to die. You might have noticed that we were just swimming through a bunch of air there. Well, that's because we never actually passed an air-to-water transition, or a water-to-air transition, so the game doesn't actually think that we should be in water, or in air right now, so it just doesn't put us in air, because we didn't pass through a transition, which is hilarious, that it just allows stuff like that. There's a lot of really strange things you can do in this game. One of the runs on the leaderboards involves getting rid of all of the water in the game, so you can basically just walk around on the floor. It's really funny. Hopefully we're not going to encounter that glitch in this run, because if we do, I've done something terribly wrong. So we're gonna hope. We're gonna go ahead and go back to our base up here. And now we're looking just to do some crafting, and we're gonna set up our alien containment to hatch our cuttlefish. Hatching a cuttlefish is actually an achievement in the game, so we do have to do it at some point. And now's a very good time. So we're gonna grab the 5 glass, and we're gonna grab 2 of those. I need another metal salvage, just real quick. Let's venture out and grab this. This will work. Just need some titanium for our base here. We're gonna set up a second base that we're actually not gonna flood, because it's so close to our original base. Oh, I don't have an infected fish. Ooh, that's kind of bad. What do I do about that? I can actually get it on the next segment. If I just try to remember that. That's fine, actually. Okay, we'll just get it in the next segment. Usually I want to have a fish that has the Carabacterium, and I can pick up, because I can just drop it in here and get a databank entry for it. But I don't have that right now, so we're going to keep an eye out for one on this next trip. Head into here, and we're going to drop the cuttlefish egg and our enzyme peeper. You can see it has that nice, beautiful tail. And now we're going to set up for the next section of the run. In order to do that, we're going to make the mobile vehicle bay. Now, because we have another habitat builder, we could just take the battery from that. We'll also take the battery from the laser cutter. And what should I put this in? Probably my Sea Glide, huh? I'm going to swap a battery into the Sea Glide, and then we can make a power cell. Here, this, 2 of these, 1 of these, 2 of these, and we're going to make a mobile vehicle bay. And that should be everything that we need. We'll go ahead and flip through some radio messages while this mobile vehicle bay is crafting. There we go. And we are going to go over and do the rest of the northern section of the map. There's a lot more to the northern section of the map than the southern section of the map in this game, in my opinion anyway. At least in this run, it's a lot more we have to do. We're going to jump our head into the underwater isles, just very briefly. There's only 2 things we need from... We just need the coral tubes and one of these big ancient floaters. Is there none on that island? Okay, whatever. You might be wondering how these are floating. All these pieces of land. It's actually because of these ancient floaters. The ancient floaters have a lot of buoyancy. Because they kind of feed off of the symbiotic relationship that happens between the plants that grow on the land that they attach to and the nutrients that kind of provides to the land. So it's a really cool bit of biology. This game has a lot of cool biology. And another one I think people will find cool is that every single creature in this game is actually hermaphroditic. That means that they can take on either role when doing reproduction. And I think that's really cool. We could basically say canonically that every single creature in this game is gender fluid, which is based as hell. But I'm sorry. And it's really cool. Well, I think they just did it just to make sure that they didn't have to explain why there wasn't any like physical appearance differences between like species in terms of like their genders. But I think it's still really neat.
On that note, I have a donation that will very much fit this conversation. If I can throw this in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have $25 from Alice Rujasu, who says, "I still think it's pronounced trans rights, but I'm enjoying this run, so I'll go with the Planet 4546B pronunciation." Close enough. And
Thank you so much.
That did go towards the how is hydrocity pronounced? And that is Hydrocity, or Planet 4546B. When you donate, you can put that your donation towards that poll and tell us how you think it's pronounced.
Yeah, please do, because, you know, it's definitely pronounced 4546B. I'm just throwing my 2 cents in, you know. Maybe I'm not right, but I hope I'm right. Anyway, we're going to go into the dunes, and anyone who's looked at things like the Subnautica interactive map know that this place is deadly. There are a lot of Leviathan class species in this area, and they are all very hungry. Normally, this is where I would scan a Reaper Leviathan, but not in this instance, because we already did it earlier, and it's also nighttime, so they're a lot harder to see, and it's a lot scarier to do right now. So, we're not going to do it right now. We're going to go through this wreck, and then we're going to pass right by another Reaper Leviathan. There you go. Detecting multiple Leviathan class organisms. Thank you for that very nice and very relaxing and not at all terrifying databank entry. So there's going to be a Reaper Leviathan right on my left over there. These things really like to hunt you in the dark. I actually had one jump scare me in the middle of a no damage run, and I actually got so scared that I stopped the run immediately and quit the game for the day. We're going to do something called a mobile vehicle bay clip here. I'm going to do it unsuccessfully. This setup's kind of hard. There it is. By putting the mobile vehicle bay in a certain way, we can actually climb it through the terrain and get out of bounds. And what that does is it skips the door, so we don't have to use a purple tablet on the door there, which is super nice. It helps us save purple tablets, which we desperately need to open other alien doors throughout the run. So now we're in kind of a safer section of the dunes. We can take our time and scan some things. And we're also near the very edge of the... So, in case you're unaware, this entire game takes place on something called the Crater. It's a big volcano. It's absolutely massive. We're actually going to go down into the volcano very soon in this run. And there's also the Crater's Edge, which is this massive drop-off that's right beneath me. You might notice that everything just got dark. Out here, there's only two types of organisms that live. There's only tiny little microorganisms, and there's Leviathan class species. So we're going to try to get out of there as soon as we get the database entry for it, and we're going to go into the next section of the run over. And in the Crater's Edge, there's actually a different type of Leviathan we haven't encountered yet called the Ghost Leviathan. And we're actually about to encounter one at about 200 meters deep. So in about a second, there's one. And this is our next scan. These guys have the worst hitboxes in the game. You see, like what is even going on? There we go. Got it though. They are absolutely massive creatures, and they do a lot of damage. They hit for 80 damage. So you got to be very careful around them. But the Ghost Leviathans have a very special place in my heart. They're probably my favorite type of Leviathan, simply because they just look amazing, and I love their life cycle. I'll get more into their life cycle in a bit, but I assure you that it's absolutely amazing. So there's another one of those alien cache things behind me, right in here. Again, we're going to use a mobile vehicle bay to skip having to use a purple tablet on this door. This clip is usually a lot easier. There we go. And we're going to grab the databank entry from inside. And we're going to go over to Life Pod 2. You got to think about the poor souls in Life Pod 2. If you listen to their crew message, they say that they're going to swim straight up. However, if they swim straight up, they most likely encountered our adult Ghost Leviathan right up there and they died. It's pretty bad fate, I gotta say. We're gonna scan some of these creatures in this biome. This biome is called the Blood Kelp. It's a very unsettling biome. It's also very dangerous usually. There's actually two sections of Blood Kelp. We're in the northern Blood Kelp right now. There's another section, the southern Blood Kelp Trench. We're going to go down to that section a bit later. It's actually one of the last biomes that we visit in the game. And now we're going to do another Leviathan class organism. This is the adult, or not the adult Ghost, this is the juvenile Ghost Leviathan.
He's just a baby.
I know, it's much smaller, isn't it? Super nice.
He's just a little guy.
So right now, you might notice that we're in a cave now. This is a biome called the Lost River. There's a lot of fossils in this area. It's kind of all fossil themed. It's a very cool area. And this is how we get down to the final sections of the game and deeper into the crater. It's a really cool, like, kind of progression that they've made here. Normally, you would be using a vehicle to get this deep, but no. We don't use vehicles in this run. Yeah, vehicles are slow. I assure you, the Sea Glide is faster than any vehicle in this game. You might notice behind me, there's a big tree. Looks very mysterious over here. This right here is the Cove Tree. This is a beautiful area. It's so beautiful that it actually is my desktop background, and it's also the thumbnail to most of my speedruns. I love this area. And it's also the area that Ghost Leviathans are born. So all of those eggs that you see right there are actually the eggs of Ghost Leviathans. So it's assumed that the Ghost Leviathans, when they are adults and ready to reproduce, they come back down here and they lay their eggs at the Cove Tree. And then the Ghost Leviathans, as they hatch, follow their way out the Lost River and go to the crater's edge. It's quite a nice life cycle, isn't it? So you might notice that we're dead. That's fine, because we made a base, so we're just going to respawn back in that base. With all of our inventory, too. Now, dying does something very helpful for us in this instance. It actually resets our oxygen. So we're back at full oxygen again. That's basically how we can get oxygen without going to the surface and without needing power. It's very helpful, just for making sure that, you know, we're able to do this next section. If we do the next section, ideally, we do it in 2 breaths. It's not that tight of a requirement, but 2 breaths usually is the way to go here. This big alien structure in front of you, this is the disease research facility. This is where the architects researched the carabacterium. Very cool little area in here. We're going to open this door and grab this databank entry. This is one of the times that we have to use a purple tablet. It's very hard to clip into that room with the mobile vehicle bay. So it's just better to use a purple tablet there. I'm going to get some scans from in here. You might notice that this place is destroyed. I'm not entirely sure if it was a Leviathan that attacked it from the outside or one that was contained and they and like one of the other Leviathans attacked it from the outside. I'm pretty sure it's a Leviathan attacked it from the outside and destroyed this place. So that's why this place is like burnt to the ground and it has like there's like no air in it. We're gonna do another type of mobile vehicle bay clip. It's very hard and it's very tight timing. I messed it up there, but it's okay. The mobile vehicle bay just rise up through the ground there. Hopefully we're gonna get it this time. There it is. So with the Super Sea Glide glitch, we can slightly clip through everything. So what we could do is deploy the mobile vehicle bay out of bounds and then climb on top of it while we're out of bounds and clip down into the next section of the run, which is the lava zone. This is Kevin. Everyone say hi to Kevin. What's up,
Hi,
Kevin?
Kevin.
Kevin is a very dangerous boy. He does a lot of damage. He shoots fireballs and they do a lot of damage. If you get hit with one of the big fireballs, it does like 80 damage. And if he bites you, you're just dead instantly, no matter what. So it's very scary when you come down in this section, especially when you're on a glitchless run. Kevin is infamous for ending glitchless runs because you have to pass right by him whenever you're doing a glitchless run. So you have to come down into this section. We're also looking for these. Yeah, we got this, and then we need a phoenix. So we're just missing one more fish in this section. Kevin, let's not. Kevin, stop. What are you doing? Stop coming over here. Okay, he's about to shoot a fireball at me.
Kevin doesn't like speedruns when he gets hit.
Oh my god, okay. Well, that's fine. Where's my phoenix? There's just no phoenix around. That's kind of bad. I'm on 30 seconds of air. What am I supposed to do? I've never had this problem before. What? Ah, there's one. Okay. It's like all the way across the map. We are going to have to die here because we do not have enough oxygen. So So we'll just make another moon pool. Fortunately, because we're deep enough, it's actually not going to matter all that much. The moon pool will actually flood instantly. Where did my phoenix go? Where did you go? Where did you go? What? Okay, you know what? I'll just worry about it when I revive myself. I'm gonna refresh the air. There we go. We'll grab Super Sea Glide back. Where are them? They're called Crimson Rays, but no one calls them that. Except for everyone. I think everyone calls them that, but I don't call them that. There's one over here. Okay, we're just gonna get this one. That's fine. You might notice this big formation in the middle here. This is actually called the Lava Castle, and we're gonna find our entrance, which is just over here. There it is. Looking for oh, thank you for that, lava lizard. That's a lava lizard right there. We're actually going to take a bite from it. I want my health to be a bit lower than it is right now. And this is a warper down here. Now, warpers are actually not native to this planet. They were actually made by the architects. They're another form of quarantine enforcers. So they basically like to kill anything that's infected. That includes me, because I am also infected. So they will try to attack me. However, a really cool detail that the devs implemented is that whenever you cure yourself, I know, spoilers, whenever you cure yourself, the warpers will actually stop attacking you. Very useful. We're going to do a self-scan in this area. This gives us a little animation. It'll give us an animation in just a second after I grab that blue tablet. There it is, and it's going to show our skin. Oh no, look at us. We've become the very thing that we've sought to destroy.
Oh no!
To me.
Alright. We're in the thermal plant now. We're looking to grab the ion battery blueprint from in here. That's all we need from in here. But we actually do really need it. It's necessary for making the rocket for later. Hopefully we die from this. No, not quite. We have to do another jump. That's alright. Just come back around and then that should do it. There we go. And that's going to spawn us back outside. We're going to grab Super Sea Glide again and come out. Deconstruct our moon pool, because now we don't need it anymore. We're going to go ahead and drop all of those things from our inventory. And we're going to go over to another mobile vehicle bit clip spot. We're looking to clip out of bounds and into the final alien base, the final big one that is, that we haven't entered. And that is the primary containment facility. See, the way that we get out of this mess with the cure is actually through a Leviathan-class species. The Sea Emperor Leviathan. Now, the Sea Emperor Leviathan is the sole producer of an enzyme known as Enzyme 42. And Enzyme 42 basically cures the infection. So we have to get her to produce that enzyme. However, she's been around for 1,000 or so years, so she's very old. She's not ready to do it. So we have to hatch her babies. And the way we do it, there's Big Mama right there on our screen. We call the Sea Emperor, who is right there, by the way. That's Big Mama over there. Now, she's waiting for us to come in the normal way, but we're never going to do that. She's going to be stuck posing like that for the rest of eternity. Poor Big Mama, right? I went through like 6 thoughts there. I had to backtrack. Hold on. I was saying something. We have to make the hatching enzymes that will hatch the eggs of Big Mama. And the eggs are right over here. So those are Big Mama's eggs, but they're not ready to hatch yet. So we got to make those enzymes and get her to hatch the eggs for us. Now, we're not quite ready to do that because we do not have the blueprint. So we got to convince Big Mama to give us the blueprint. And the way we do that is by opening this portal right here. Again, because we can slightly clip through everything, we can just clip through that sand And there we go. So we're gonna get the cure in just a second. Wow, doesn't this look familiar? Remember how I said this base wasn't going to be useful at all? Well, it turns out it's actually useful. Isn't that crazy? There's the hatching enzyme blueprints. So now we're going to come in here and grab all of the plants that we gathered to make those hatching enzymes. There we go. And now we're going to come out of our base here. And we're going to drop and scan these hatching enzymes. The devs accidentally left the old hatching enzymes database entry in the game. So, you know, we got to get that. Such a goofy one, too. There's a bunch of things that we have to scan in the aquarium. We got the arch already. And this building has more to it than just the aquarium down here.
First they must feel the time is right and break free of their shells.
It's got these eggs, got the
This is what the others
and it's got the entire upper section up here.
to you. I give this.
So we're gonna go over there. We need to get the spotted dock leaf while we're down here. I almost always forget the scan. Such a weird place. We have to get that scan now. Usually we used to get it in the underwater islands, but yeah, I moved it there because it's slightly better. Very slightly. That's a lot of what I've done with this category. It's just very small micro adjustments, and some big routing changes, removing parts of Rex that we didn't need to go into, stuff like that. That's how I got the category down to where it is today. It's honestly a miracle that this run can be as fast as it is. So now we're in an alien base. You know what that means? It's time for more flying. However, we can't drop the air bladder quite yet. We have to drop it in water because for some reason it doesn't let us drop things on land when we're in an alien base. So you might be thinking this force field's blocking us. No, it isn't. The devs implemented a failsafe, so if you come at that force field from the other side, it'll just open for you. Isn't that convenient for us? And now we're gonna do a lot of scans. This section is kind of boring, Joker. If you wanna read out anything, got anything for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. Excuse me. I do again want to remind everybody you are watching Power Up with Pride 2024, benefiting our friends at True Colors United. Your donations do go to help LGBTQ youth and youth homelessness, finding innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ plus young people. Donations like this one from Razor1, who donated $25, says, "Happy to support an awesome cause. Gotta go fast, Ruby, and may Casper bless the run."
Unfortunately, we do not pass Casper in this run. Isn't that unfortunate? I'd love to see you here, Razor.
That donation did go towards our one of our open bid wars here. That is the Hollow Knight Save or Leave the Grub bid war. And right now, Save is still currently ahead at $1,048.73, with Leave at $191.75. You do not have a whole lot of time left if you wish to influence that in any further way, so please make sure you do get your donations in for that. And you can choose either that bid war poll or our other poll, which is, how is Hydro City pronounced? It's either Hydro City, Hydrocity, or Planet 4546B. And right now, Planet 4546B is in the lead at $25. So please make sure when you do use !donate in the chat, you do put your donations towards one of those polls.
Awesome. So what we're doing right now is we're just going to take some damage. We need to take a bit more before we're ready to do the final few scans in this section. And now we're going to jump off this cliff and die. That's going to warp us back outside of the primary containment facility, back out to the space that we were just in. And now we're ready. Actually, I want the gold from in here. There's a fabricator right here. These take gold to construct, so we can always get the gold back from there, because we're not going to need the space anymore. And now we're ready to cure ourselves. I'm just going to let this cure animation play. We don't have a skip for it, unfortunately. We've tried very hard, but there is none. And just like that, we are free. We're no longer gonna die in 2 weeks.
Hooray!
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do another death warp. You might have noticed I deconstructed the hatch on that base, so now we're ready to do that death warp. We also took up our oxygen tank. So, finally, we're going to go ahead and disable the quarantine enforcement platform. That's going to allow us to leave the planet once and for all. But before we do that, obviously, there's still a few more things that we gotta do.
I do love how you say we're not going to die in 2 weeks, and yet we're going to death warp immediately afterwards. It's fantastic. 10 out of 10.
Don't worry, dying isn't real in this game. It can't hurt you unless you're playing hardcore, and then it can definitely hurt you. If you're playing hardcore, your run immediately ends if you die. I will admit, playing this category in hardcore glitchless is one of the most scary things ever in running Subnautica. And at any moment, you're at the will of whatever this game throws at you. We're gonna go ahead and get the last few scans from the quarantine enforcement platform, and that's the last time that we'll need to come here. And back to our life pod we go. So, my Aurora exploded yet? It has not. Why is my Aurora not exploded? Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we're going the right way. So, the Aurora is infamous in Subnautica speedrunning for being a run killer. And that might seem a little bit strange to you, but let me explain. Oh, there you go. Right on cue. The Aurora explodes at any time between 46 minutes and an hour and 20 minutes.
The supercritical state.
For any percent glitchless runs, they're getting awfully close to that 46-minute mark where they can't go any faster. They just have to wait for the explosion time. It's becoming so much of a problem that barely any runs make it out of, you know, the first couple seconds, because you just have to reset if the Aurora explosion time isn't good. Which is honestly, like... It's honestly really, It's not a fun resetting experience, in my opinion. So there is one thing that we forgot to do. I will admit, I forgot to do it. That's fine, actually. We forgot to grab an infected fish during that section. Remember how I said I was going to do that? Yeah, I didn't do that. So we have to go out and find one there. Luckily, we found one quite fast, so it's okay. We're going to go into this habitat and drop the hoopfish, and then scan the hoopfish. Boom. Scan the cuttlefish. And grab it. And now we're going to deconstruct this hatch, and we're going to deconstruct this alien containment. Don't worry about the fish in there. I'm sure that they will be fine. You just, you know. Okay, anyway. So now that they're gone, we're going to do some very special and weird things to the space. We're going to make a window, and then we're going to make another base piece right here. And then we're going to run out of power, apparently. And now the base is really weird. So what has happened there is that the game now thinks that there is 2 bases in that spot. That's going to allow us to do some very weird things later, some very strange behavior. You will see what I mean very, very soon. So, what we're looking for is our battery. We're looking for those. I want to put do some battery swaps. And then we're going to make the radiation suit. And we should be good for the next section of the run. We're going to go into the Aurora now, after we play some radio messages. Cool. We're going to go over here. Now, you might know that the Aurora is infamous for kind of being a dangerous place to be. It's actually so dangerous that the crash zone is probably one of my least memorized, like, areas in the entire run. I just do not like, you know, being there, and there's also not a lot of reason to be in the crash zone. Crash zone is the biome that immediately just surrounds the Aurora, and it's all been infested with radiation. There's not a whole lot of reason to, you know, do anything in this area besides go to the big wreck that is the Aurora. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go directly into the wreck. Before, we're gonna stop at Life Pod 4 and grab some of the things from inside. Oh yes, hold on. We have to stop for the greatest PDA database entry ever. Tell Becky I'll just regular. It's the best voicing in this game. So now we have to... What did I just grab? Okay. We're going to do some flying in the Aurora here. And grab some data bank entries from in here. And we're going to enter a lot of codes to a lot of doors. There's like 5 codes in this place. Like first one is 1454. Go. Come through here. And we're gonna go into the water. Now, for this next section, if you hate leeches, I would recommend looking away for like the next couple, like two or so minutes. There's a bunch of these creatures in this area called bleeders, and they love to just snatch onto your wrist, and like they're annoying. They're so annoying, and they are all just scattered throughout this section of water and the Aurora repair pod section of water, which is just over here. They're very annoying creatures, and they're honestly one of my least favorite creatures in the game, which is honestly a very high bar, because I have a lot of favorite creatures in this game. But they and one other creature that we haven't seen yet are my least favorites in the game. But you know, we have to deal with them because it is 100%, so we gotta scan them. This is what I mean. They like to attach to you. You just gotta knife them off. I'll tell you when the leech people can look back, by the way. Whenever we finish repairing the Aurora, we can get out of here and not have to deal with this anymore. So that's Big Mama on my screen. Don't tell her that we've already done her entire storyline. She's just appearing anyway to tell me that I should come find her, even though I've already done her entire storyline.
What are you?
Good to see you, Big Mama.
He's just checking in on you, seeing how you're doing.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that. Thank you, Big Mama. Another bleeder. I hate you. Go away. Just 2 more breaches in here. 1 more. And that's that. Nice lag spike. That was awesome. Now we're going to come out and go over to this other door. This is the laser cutter door. I'm going to grab this battery and throw it in and do a little opening thing here. You can do the knife thing with the laser cutter here, but it's actually better, even better, if you do it with the repair tool. It's even faster. All right, everyone who hates leeches can look back now. You're all safe. This water is safe over here. We're going to repair this door and go to the living quarters of the Aurora, which is just through this door. We're also going to scan the prawn suit. Now, all the achievements in this game does involve making every single vehicle in the game. So that is going to be the Seamoth, the prawn suit, and the Cyclops. This is just one of those. We've already scanned the Seamoth. We haven't scanned all of the Cyclops yet, though. That's going to be a bit later that we're going to scan the rest of those. Speaking of Cyclops, I just remembered one thing I forgot, and that's Cyclops engine. I don't think I can actually get that in the next section unless I'm extremely lucky. So I might have to go to another wreck. Have to go to the Underwater Isles wreck to get that. But that's okay. Gonna do some scans in here, just some furniture. You know, for some reason you can make a vending machine. You can actually get chips from these if you make one in one of your bases. It's very funny the amount of detail that they put into some of these items. I'm gonna go ahead and take a kit. I'm about to run through some more fire. And now we have 2 more code doors. 1869 is always the code to this door. I'll grab this databank entry right here. And the code to this door is always 267. And this door has the rocket blueprint in. There we go. So now we can actually escape. Isn't that great? There's still a few more things we gotta wrap up, though, in the Aurora. And then we have to wrap up the entire southern section of the map, and then we can leave. We're gonna go down here, grab this, and then open the laser cutter door right here. And then there's one more code door through here. That's gonna be the Aurora Lab. And the code to that door is always the same. It's gonna be 6483. There we go. Grabbing that. And one more databank entry. And now we are good to leave. And when I say leave, I mean, of course, you guessed it, dying in a fire. Goodbye. And with that, we are back at our base. Isn't that crazy? There's only a few things we need before we leave here. We need 4 of these and 1 of these. Awesome. And now we're going to go over to this very specific spot. So you might have noticed earlier that I did just leave my mobile vehicle bay here, and now it's all the way up here. How did it get there? So, when I went to do my mobile vehicle bay clip in the lava zone, what actually happened was I left my mobile vehicle bay there, and then I went really far away. So the terrain, you know, it disappeared because I wasn't near it. The game doesn't need to render terrain that's not close to you, so of course it doesn't. Now, what that inadvertently does is it actually gets rid of all of the terrain that is, you know, around the mobile vehicle bay. So the mobile vehicle bay can just float all the way up to the surface, which just so happens to be in that exact spot. Again, very convenient. It's a good setup there. It's also really cool. Just teaches you a little bit about how open world games like this work. All right, we're gonna go over to the Crag Field now. The Crag Field is like one of the most forgettable biomes in this game. It's got these cool pillars, but like, that's about it. It also has LifePod 7 in it, which is what we're going to. Should be just behind this pillar. And we're gonna scan the Markiplier doll. Yes, he made it into this game. And grab the databank entry from inside. And now we're gonna go over to one of my favorite biomes in the game. This is the Grand Reef. It's just so gorgeous, in my opinion. You'll get to see a bit more of it when we actually go down into the Grand Reef in a second. But first, we're gonna go into this wreck and grab a databank entry from in here. A lot of routing this category was just, you know, figuring out what wrecks you have to go into and what wrecks you don't have to go into, and then kind of routing around that. Very interesting. While I'm traveling here, you could read a donation or two.
Well, I do still want to remind everybody you are watching Power Up with Pride 2024, benefiting our friends at True Colors United. True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ+ young people. Let's see. We guide youth homelessness service providers, policymakers, advocates, and other stakeholders in creating systems and policies that better meet the needs of youth experiencing homelessness. Through an ongoing partnership with the HUD's Youth Homelessness Demonstration Project, we've trained local leaders in over 70 communities on LGBTQ and racial equity, project management, and youth collaboration. If you wish to donate, please use !donate in the chat, and make sure that you do put your donations towards one of our 2 bid wars that are open, either Hollow Knight, Save or Leave the Grub, and how is Hydrosity pronounced?
Awesome. So this creature right here is the crab squid. They're my other least favorite creature in the game. They remind me too much of spiders, and I absolutely hate spiders. I hate them so much. That thing's just got too many legs. And also, another disturbing fact about the crab squid is that thing that you think it's its brain is actually its stomach. Its stomach's in its head. It's very strange, but kind of cool. But also, I still hate it. So this is what I mean when I say the Grand Reef is just so gorgeous. It's so nice here. We're gonna grab the last Leviathan class creature in the game. This is the Sea Treader Leviathan. Anyone who's casually played this game knows that these things are very, very useful. You can see whenever they step, they spawn little shale outcrops right beneath you there. Very nice. I know, it's really nice of them. That shale has things like lithium and gold and diamonds in it, and those are all very late game materials. It's nice to have a good source of them. Apparently I haven't scanned office chair yet.
New PDA data.
Oh, that would be so funny if I missed office chair. I once, one of my first 100% runs, I missed the office chair. That was one of the blueprints I missed. And I went searching for it and couldn't find it for 20 minutes. So there's just 20 minutes at the end of the run where I was going wreck to wreck, just trying to find an office chair. And I couldn't find it. And it became such a meme in my community that I have that now it's what my channel points are called. My channel points are called office chairs.
Oh,
So
I
that would-
love it. I love it when a meme comes together naturally like that.
I know, it's just... It was such a bad time. However, it's great because, you know, I think it's fun that communities can come together and just create little inside jokes like that. We're gonna smash this cuttlefish egg into pieces. I'm sorry to all the people that like cuttlefish eggs. It has to be done. It's just the easiest item to smash into a wall and flood the base there. I know there's only 5 of them on the map, and I just killed one of them. I'm sorry. That has to be. It's a little bit cruel. This is the other bit of land terrain in the game. We were at the other one earlier, the mountain with the quarantine enforcement platform on it. But now we are at the other one. Where did my... Okay, this happened earlier too. Sometimes the air bladder likes to go through the floor. So it just vanished through the floor, and now it's under the island. So I'm just gonna have to do this section without it. That's fine. Whatever. Thanks, game.
It's fine. These things are fine.
These things happen. The air bladder is infamous for being very, very, like, glitchy, to say the least. You know, especially when you drop it, it has the tendency to fly and go random places and fall through the floor. Yeah, it's done that a lot. We're gonna go ahead and grab some of the last base pieces that we need. You might notice that these spiders, they're very persistent. They're also very annoying. I hate these little guys, to be honest. There's a lot of creatures in this other section of the map that I just do not like, huh? But unfortunately, they're also the best things to fly on if you don't have an air bladder. So we're gonna use them to fly up to this wreck up here. Just ignore the damage I'm taking.
It's fine.
Grab that. Okay. I want a better... There we go. That's good. And we're gonna fly over to the other Degassi base over here. There we go. Grab that. Can I actually... I wanted to chuck that guy off a cliff. Oh well. I won't be able to chuck him off a cliff. I'm gonna point out for people running the stream, we're probably about 20 or so minutes away from the end of the run. So keep that in mind. We're on the final stretch, the final little route here that goes around everything. Hopefully I haven't forgotten too much. That would be really bad if I forgot a lot. But hopefully that's not the case. That should be everything we need from the island. And now we're just going to do some Skyrim walking along the wall. This is very normal and intended behavior.
I didn't know the player character was also part mountain goat. That's exciting.
I know, right? It's great. We're gonna come into this base now. Hello? Okay. Get ourselves Super Sea Glide and go back underwater where... I love being underwater. And now we're gonna dive in Sparse Reef, which is just over here. And we're gonna do some resource collection from here. It's gonna be a nice, relaxing time. There's not really a lot that can hurt us down here. Just gonna be a relaxing time. This is the best resource in the game. I wonder why I would say that a ruby is the best resource in the game. Isn't that crazy? It's a very famous clip from an Any% run that was done by Salvner. I was in the chat, and he couldn't find 2 rubies and 2 gel sacks, which is what you need from this section in Any%. And I think he said to me, during the section, Ruby, control your children. And it's just one of the most infamous clips ever. I love it. What a beautiful display of affection. Anything else we need? Torpedo arms? Torpedo arms, there we go. And bioreactors. Any scans that we get in this section are scans that we probably didn't get earlier. Oh my gosh, I don't have enough. Wait, what? I didn't get any bioreactor? Oh, that's impressive. How have I gotten no bioreactor? Is there another one anywhere? There's one. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Alright, no blueprint over there? No blueprint over there. That's good. We're gonna come down. Terrain, please. Oh no, terrain. Terrain. Oh goodness. My terrain isn't loading. Okay, when my terrain's not loading, I have to go away and unload the terrain. And then reload it. This is a very unfortunate turn of events. Hopefully that does it. We're also gonna have to swap the battery in our Sea Glide. Go ahead and just do that, actually. That's probably better. Okay, so we were here, and we're going over here. Is it still messing up? Maybe it's fine? No, that entire terrain is just gone. This might call for a save reload. If I save reload now, I'm gonna lose Super City Glides. Let me just make a base real quick. Yeah, this can happen sometimes. Sometimes the game just can't load in certain pieces of terrain, and you're just stuck like this. So we're just gonna have to make do with. Where did it go? Where did the sock go? Oh my goodness, everything is glitching out on me. Flood the base. Come into the base. Save. And we're
I can't imagine a game like this glitching out at all. That would never happen.
We're gonna reload, and hopefully that's gonna fix the terrain. That's very unfortunate. Sometimes that happens. It actually happens so much on console. When I first played this game, I was actually on Xbox One, and wow, that happened a lot. It's kind of stupid, the amount that it happened. We're also only at 54 air, which oh, there's my salt. So good of you to join us. There we go, all the terrain's fixed. It happened so much that the game moderators for speedrun.com, which includes myself and a bunch of other very, very influential members of the community, they banned it. Oh, they banned it before I was on the mod team, which was a very good decision. Because what could happen is sometimes the terrain wouldn't load, and you could use that to actually go out of bounds. But because that's a completely hardware dependent thing, it would be silly to allow that. So we just decided not to, for the better of everyone involved. Now we're gonna need some air, so we're gonna go up real quick. There we go. Why am I so full? I feel like I'm way more full on resources than I should be. Maybe I have too many batteries. I think it's fine though. We're gonna do some animation overlapping here. By dropping this thing, the fish, we can actually overlay these data box animations with each other. This PDA is a blank right here. Want to prove it? There you go. There's nothing on that data bank. For some reason, that data bank appears in 2 locations, so you only have to get one of them. We're gonna wrap up the last couple scans of the game. We're also gonna make a base here. Put a hatch here. We're gonna grab 3 deep shrooms. They are some of the last resources that we're gonna need. We're gonna flood this base. Apparently we're not gonna flood this base. That base didn't flood. Flood. I command thee. There we go. Okay.
While we're wrapping up this little last bit, do I have time for a quick announcement?
Absolutely.
All right, so I do want to let everybody know we are still pushing towards our $10,000 donation milestone. If we can hit that by the end of Hollow Knight, it would unlock an estimated 10-minute run of Hollow Knight's Path of Pain, done one-handed by our next runner, Sawayoshi. I know, chat, right now that seems like it could be a lot, but if everyone in chat was able to donate even $5, if we got ourselves a $5 trade going, we could absolutely hit that goal. Every donation matters towards that $10,000 goal, even as small as our $1 donation. So please, if you want to see the hardest section of Hollow Knight done single-handedly, literally, we need to get ourselves to $10,000. I know it's close. We don't have much time left, but chat, I believe in you. I have faith. I know we can do it.
Absolutely. We are on the last little stretch here, getting some of our last scans of the game. I know it's hard to believe we've scanned almost 270 different things, but that is what we have done. We're going to go into the alien lab here. Go ahead and get some of these scans in here, and then we're going to go over to a different section of the Lost River. This is the southern section, and also the southern blood kelp that I was talking about earlier. We're just going to run over here and grab 2 plant scans, and then we are going to death warp back to our base. Now, you might notice that I actually set it up earlier with the base, and then I died, and then I deconstructed the hatch. That was to save my inventory and refresh my oxygen, so I had enough for this section. And now we're gonna start dying while we're scanning these last few plants. And now we just sit here and wait. The last section of this run is a crafting marathon. We're gonna be doing lots of the craft. So, terrain, there we go. Great, my terrain's loaded. We're gonna go back over again because our life pod spawn was not great. We gotta do a bit of travel to get back to our base, but that's okay. We're gonna go over there. You can feel how slow Super Sea Glide feels now, or the normal Sea Glide feels now that we've had, Super Sea Glide on the entire run. It just feels like we're crawling. But this is how glitchless runs of this game go. People don't have anything to speed them up besides vehicles, and nobody makes vehicles in glitchless runs because it's too slow. So this is how they travel in glitchless runs. It's very impressive that people tolerate it. All right. So first things first, we need to make some aerogel. We need to make some hydrochloric acid. And then we're going to do some duplicating. Yeah, you heard me right. Duplication is a thing in Subnautica. I know it seems very strange, but this base right here that we've made, remember how I said it actually thinks it's 2 bases? Well, it turns out if we make a moon pool here, it's actually going to make 2 moon pools here. That's because the game thinks that this is 2 bases. So every single time I make a moon pool, there's just going to be 2 moon pools there now.
I do have a bit of an update here from the chat. Wanted to remind you that you are missing an engine and a nickel.
I'm missing a nickel?
From what I'm seeing in chat, it looks like you may be missing a nickel. But you are missing that last engine scan. I do remember you mentioning it previously.
Yeah, I remember that. It's wild to me that I'm missing a nickel. That's impressive. I don't know why I'm missing a nickel. I think I grabbed 2, and then I was gonna grab the last one in the cove tree, but I just forgot. Thankfully, we can clip down into the Lost River, so it's not that big of a deal. Do I have advanced wiring kit yet? I don't think I do. I don't think I've made it yet. We'll go ahead and make one. This and this. There we go. Got those. I need 2 of those. All right. With this duplication glitch, we're going to get... Why am I swimming here? I usually walking here, but I guess we're swimming now. I'm not going to question this game. We're going to do the brunt of our duplication here, and we're going to dupe 9 nuclear reactors. Every single time we duplicate a nuclear reactor, we're going to get a plastio ingot and an advanced wiring kit. That saves us a ton of resource collection. If we were just doing some normal resource collection, we'd have to get 18 lithium, and we'd have to make I think 12 ingots for the run, which is a lot more resources than I'm willing to do. So it's very nice that we have this duplication technique. I'm gonna go ahead and swap the... Oh, my inventory's full? Okay. That's fine, I guess. We'll just come out here and dump some lead. As opposed to what I normally do. Here... How many ingots are we at? We are at 7. I don't know why I'm missing a nickel. That is just perplexing. 8. And the last plasteel that we need. That's gonna be 9. And now we're gonna duplicate some enameled glass. There's 2. And then, please, there's 4 and 5. There we go. Awesome. So, with all of that duplicated, we should be able to come in here and grab these, this, some lead. We need 2 of these. I need 2 glass. I think that's everything. Yeah. We should be able to come out onto the mobile vehicle bay and make our first vehicle. Oh, we're missing the aerogel. Goodness. That's fine. Go back and find the aerogel. Where are you? There you are. And we'll go ahead and make the prawn suit. There we go. We're going to deconstruct the moon pool over here. I'm going to wait till the prawn suit falls. Now, you might notice that we put no power cells into that prawn suit. It actually doesn't take any power cells to craft. However, it comes with 2 power cells for free. You know, the game just likes to give us power cells, I guess. I don't really know why that happens. Anyway, we have to use one of those power cells to make our next vehicle, which is the sea moth. Next, I'm going to go ahead and get those missing blueprints. I'm actually going to do my PDA check now. So we are going to go through our databank, and we are going to take a look at what we're missing. So I'm going to pull up our spreadsheet here. We got 16. I know we have 28. I saved and loaded there. We should have 12. We do. So data downs is done. Geological data is 12. We have 107 here. We're missing 1 fauna. Wait, no, we're missing 3 fauna. We're missing 2 carnivores and a large herbivore. Cuttlefish, gasopod, ghost ray. Okay, so get ghost ray when we're in the Lost River. Carnivores. Biter, blighter, bone shark, crab snake, crab squid. We need crashfish and mesmer. Those are easy enough. There's going to be right outside. And then flora, we should have 46. And we already have opened 1, so it looks like flora is done. Alright, let's go get those missing things. We're gonna go get crashfish and, I need to put a better battery into my scanner in order to scan these things. Ironically, I did a run earlier today as one last little practice, and I also missed crashfish and mesmer during that run, so, I guess that's just my thing today, huh? Go over here. There's a mesmer usually around this cave. I say usually. There's one. So like I said, these guys like to hypnotize you. It's a very cool little thing that they implemented. It basically tricks the PDA into saying, hey, you need to swim closer to that creature. And it's totally not going to kill you. And it definitely wants to kill you. We're going to go to this wreck. This wreck usually has engines by it. There we go. Perfect. That's the Cyclops done. And now I'm going to go back to our base over here. And we're going to clip down into the Lost River and grab some of the things that we're missing. We're just looking for the ghost ray. We're looking for a nickel. I think that's it. Ghost ray and a nickel. Yeah, that's right. We're just missing those 2 things. We're gonna go ahead and clip down. Good spot right here. There we go. Got that clip first try. And we're going to go straight down. Going straight down here should get us to a section of Lost River around 700 meters deep. I know, it's a little bit scary to just be diving into nothing. That's kind of how Out of Bounds works sometimes, you know.
While we're
There we
diving
go.
into nothing, do we have a moment for a very brief donation?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, we've got one from Trader Anade who donated $10, and they said, $10 for a great cause, and because I need to know how to pronounce this area once and for all. That did go towards our How is Hydro City pronounced bid war. And right now, they donated towards, let me open that up again. They donated towards it being Hydrocity. However, Planet 4546b is still currently in the lead at $25. So if you want to determine how it's pronounced, either Hydrocity, Hydrocity, or Planet 4546b, please make sure to use !donate in the chat and put your donation towards that poll so you can help determine how it's pronounced.
All right, we're back down at the Cove Tree one more time, just looking for some nickel. One last little bit of it. Here we go. Awesome. And now we're just gonna sit here and wait until we drown, because I don't wanna slash any mushrooms, because I think if I slash some mushrooms, I will probably lose that nickel I just got. So I don't want to lose that. And we're just gonna wait. And our next objective, and the last objective that we have to do, is making the Neptune 1 rocket, which is our mechanism to get out of here and get off this planet. So first we need 4 lead, we need a computer chip, and we need a titanium, or 2 titanium ingots. Once we've got all those, we need the mobile vehicle bay, which I left over here. And we're going to go deploy it in a very specific spot over here. Right over here. Come over, come up, look there, and deploy. This is one of the old rocket lineups. I still use them for 100% though. We have some newer rocket lineups, but that involves moving the mobile vehicle bay, and that can be very, very tricky. Very annoying. Still, goodness, I keep trying to deconstruct and reconstruct the hatch with my empty habitat builder. That's why I keep leaving. Still a few things left to do. We gotta go ahead and craft the ion batteries that we need. We only have 3 gold. That's actually bad in this instance. I need to get more gold. We'll come down here. There's some sandstone in this cave. 5 to be exact. 2, 3. Give me some gold, please. There we go. 1 gold is probably fine. I can come in here and then go ahead and make that and the last ion power cell. Grab these. I want those. I only need 3 of these. I need electronics. I also need 2 inventory spaces real quick. So I want to deconstruct 1 fabricator, because we're not going to need it anymore, just for that gold. And we can make our last little bit of polyaniline. That should be the last resource that we need for the game. Let's go ahead and put the knife in there. I want to grab a flare. 1's fine. We'll make do with 1. Oh, hold on. Before I leave, let's go ahead and clear the radio one last time. Any remaining Datavic entries that are coming through, we're ahead and, you know, get those going, get those queued up. And we're gonna go ahead and do the little ending segment here. I'm gonna make the Cyclops. And check our blueprints now. We have 153, 140, 154, 155. So I think we're missing 2 blueprints. We're gonna go ahead and make sure that I have those. We're gonna do a little check after I craft this stage of the rocket and go into the Cyclops. Now the hitbox for the ladder inside the Cyclops actually extends a little bit outside of the Cyclops, so you can come straight in just like that. and make the shield generator, which you need for the end of the last stage of the rock.
Should attempt to pilot this vehicle solo.
And that's all we need the Cyclops for. Made this big submarine just to never use it. Sad little thing, isn't it? All right. Let's go. 9, 6, 9, 2, 14, 14, 15. Tools. Where are we at? We're at tools 12. Machine 6, 7, 11. Mod station 17. 4 for scanner room upgrades. 4 for Cyclops. 8 Cyclops upgrades. 8 base pieces. 4 base rooms. 3 base walls. We should have 3 exterior modules. 2 exterior lights, 2 of these, 4 interior, and then 3 interior rooms, 14 interior modules, and 19 miscellaneous. We are missing 1 miscellaneous. What are we missing? Desk, swivel chair, office chair, command chair, picture frame. Oh, we're missing picture frame. That's a strange one to miss, isn't it? I guess so. We're gonna go scan a picture frame back at that other wreck that we were actually at earlier. The Underwater Isles wreck over here. This should be the last thing we have to do before we make the last stage of the rocket and head off. I'm also looking for anything just really quick that I can overscan. Overscanning something gives me an extra 2 titanium, which I could use to make a compartment by the wreck, and then I can get rid of the wreck. So just down these islands. We were at this wreck earlier for the Cyclops engines, but we can also use this for picture frames. Normally we get these at the mountain. Oh, I know why I'm missing picture frame. You know why? Because I didn't go in the top section of the mountain island wreck. That is goofy. So I think I'm still missing the blueprint that's actually in there. That's the other blueprint I'm missing. So how about we go back there real quick? Mountain is just over here. So we're gonna grab this scan. And you know what? Just for you guys, chat, I'm gonna die to a Reaper. That's how we're gonna get back to our base. We're gonna go back around the quarantine enforcement platform one more time. That's why I had so much air in Mountain. I was wondering, I was like, I feel like I have too much air here. Because I didn't go into the top section of this wreck down here. Isn't that goofy? That's Eileen. Eileen's getting awfully close to this wreck. I would not like you to get that much closer. Yeah, this door isn't open. That's so silly. Alright. Shield suit is the last blueprint that we need.
New blueprint acquired.
We're gonna go give Eileen a kiss. Everyone say hi to Eileen again. Give me a kiss. There's 1 kiss. And now wait. And 2 kiss. Goodbye.
She's so affectionate.
I know. So eager. That's okay, though. I love Eileen. Finally, we're gonna make the last stage of the rocket. At this point, we've completed everything there is in the... That is 100% Subnautica for you. All we have left is to leave the planet. I'm apparently going to miss the elevator. That's actually fine. Let's get a good screenshot. Do that right there. Come back down, elevator. I missed you. Get a good screenshot of the blown up Aurora there. I go up one more time. I don't think I've ever missed that elevator. That is so silly. We're gonna go flip a bunch of these switches, and when I say flip these switches, I mean throw a flare at them. We can do some animation overlaps here. avoid having to actually go through the animation of flipping the switches. Isn't that very nice?
Communications systems array active. Auxiliary power unit online.
Gonna go ahead and activate these 3 things up here. I am gonna send a time capsule for everyone who is wondering. We're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Obviously, it's not required for the run. It's sent regardless of whether you interact with it or not, but because this is a special occasion, we will go ahead and send a time capsule. We're gonna put that image we just got. Heya from Power Up Pride 2024 from rubiks37. Good luck with the game. There we go, and you can have a flare. Yeah. There you go. There you go. And now some random player is going to find that in the game somewhere. 3, 2, 1, time. There you go. That is Subnautica 100%. I hope you all enjoyed the run. We're gonna let this end cutscene play just a little bit. A little fun fact about this end cutscene is that it's actually all an illusion. The rocket doesn't even move one bit. Everything around you actually moves. Very interesting little thing that they did with the cutscene here. Joker, any thoughts?
I want to say GG's. Congratulations on the run. I know you were nervous about it beforehand, but you did fantastic. Very happy. I'm so glad I was able to see this. I know I like Subnautica. I've never played it, but it's really fun to see how everything can be done so quickly. Well done.
This run has come a long way, and if you guys are interested at all in playing this game, the speedrunning scene is very, very fun. I think running this game is it's a really fun thing to do. So if you want, you can join the Subnautica speedrunning Discord, and we can help you out with any questions. If you want to run this run, good luck. It's a really hard category to learn, but you can learn it. I just posted a guide, actually, for this category on my channel, so that's maybe something to check out if you're interested in learning more about the run and more about the details of what we're doing. And the speedrunning scene of this game is just super fun. There's super nice people, and you don't even have to do a run this long. You can do a 30-minute run, you can do a 10-minute run. Any way you want to run this game, we're nice to have. It's so great to have you guys. I'm gonna let Big Mama's dialogue play here.
What is a wave without the ocean? A beginning without an end. They are different, but they go together. Now you go among the stars, and I fall among the sand. We are different, but we go together.
There we go. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate you. Joker, take it away.
Once again, GG's Ruby on the Subnautica 100% run. Was very fantastic to have you. We are going to take ourselves a very quick break before we get into our final run of Power Up with Pride 2024. That will be a one-hand any percent run of Hollow Knight by Sawayoshi. And again, we do still have that $10,000 goal. If we are able to hit that by the end of Hollow Knight, Sawayoshi will do a Hollow Knight Path of Pain one-handed exhibition. One of the hardest platforming sections in Hollow Knight, done single-handedly. You're gonna want to see that, but we're gonna need every little bit of help here. Even if everybody in chat could even donate just $5, if we got ourselves a $5 donation train, we can still do it. So please, if you are able to, use that exclamation mark donate in the chat and put your donations in towards our friends at True Colors United. We're gonna take that quick break, get Sawayoshi in here, and get ourselves ready for the final run, Power Up with Pride 2024. Please stay tuned.